Hellmaster EX. This award-winning system features the first single-engine joystick with digital electric steering and new autopilot capability. See Hellmaster EX in action at a Yamaha Outboard dealer or visit YamahaOutboards.com.
Hey, tune into this week's weekly video fishing forecast for a preview of the current digital edition of the Fisherman magazine. We also have another open boat episode for you guys, reports and events from around the island, and we have the results from the Riverview tournament on Election Day.
The fishing news is sponsored by these fine partners.
Today is November 7th, and we have some news for you guys this week. We have the results from the annual View tournament, striped bass tournament. It was a great turnout. I went down there for myself, so my friend Jimmy Hahn, all the anglers that participated. It was a nice event. They raised a lot of money for Send a Kid Fishing as well. We're gonna go through the results with you guys. First place, Joseph Mackin. He had a 46.3-inch striper. Second place, Tony Salucci. He had a 45.75-inch striper. And third place, Steve Dutton had a 45.13-inch striper. Keep in mind that all the fish were caught, measured, and released, and they were documented through an app that takes measurements down, and it goes to a leaderboard on an app. Great tournament. All the big fish were released. Great event. Again, a lot of money raised for Send a Kid Fishing. We hope to see you guys again at it next year. Okay, we got our digital edition out this week, issue 36. We're almost at the end of it for the year. We got a couple more left for you, so let's run through them. Surf column, Night Bite, Night Lights. That's by Jenni Ackerman. Inshore Black Sea Bass Basics. And on freshwater, we have Fall Winter Bass Tactics. And for the tackle tip, we have one on telescopic fishing rod benefits. Now, until December 31st, Tsunami is giving away a Salt X waterproof backpack when you purchase a new Salt X2 reel. With its 19 seals and machined aluminum frame, the rugged Salt X2 can conquer any fishing condition you may face. Check out the QR code for all the details. Yeah, and we hope you're hungry on this week's open boat episode. Jenni Ackerman shows us a nice tuna marinade, a spicy one as well. Hopefully you have some extra tuna steaks left over from the great tuna run. You can put them to good use. Jenni, what do you got for us?
Hey everyone, welcome to this week's open boat. Today we are obviously in my kitchen, and I want to show you guys just a quick and easy tuna marinade that I do. I haven't been out tuna fishing yet this season, but luckily for me, I have people that like me enough to give me some tuna that they caught, and I'm even lucky enough to have people that like me so much that they hand deliver homemade fresh tuna poke bowls right to my doorstep. So you can't beat that. But if you have leftover tuna or your buddy just dropped off some of his, I'm gonna show you a marinade option for the tuna that you have. So let's get right into it. Obviously, like, I wash my hands, but I'm gonna just put my hair up real quick, and we're going to get right into making this marinade. So I have a bowl. This is not Paula Deen cooking here. This is Jenni eyeballing her recipe to make it work. So with the ingredients I have toasted sesame seed oil, soy sauce with the reduced sodium, I have cayenne pepper, and I have Mike's hot honey. So I'm going to start off with adding, you know, you can do a couple teaspoons and stuff, but really I just eyeball this stuff. And the biggest thing is I add this soy sauce last, because if you add too much soy, it like immediately overpowers everything. So do that last. So I'm gonna add some toasted sesame oil into my bowl. And like I said, like this, it's just, you're eyeballing it. So it's like I just put some into my bowl, and then I'm going to add a pinch of cayenne. I like mine spicier, so I do a decent covering, and then I'm going to add a dollop of hot honey. And this is a really good marinade. Like, it's convenient, like in the morning I'll make this, and then I'll let the tuna sit till about like maybe early dinner, maybe dinner time hours, and I just cook it real quick, like not even a minute on each side. and it turns out really nice. So that's a couple drops of that. And before I add the soy sauce, just get a fork and I'm gonna mix it up in here. Just to make sure the honey blends in with the other ingredients, because obviously that's a liquid and then you got honey, so you gotta mix it in. And already I know this is definitely not enough. So now I'm gonna add my soy, because then that's when you have like an equation here. You add this and you add soy and then you go back to the beginning and add more. So I'm gonna add just a little bit of soy. It smells delicious. It's a very strong smell, especially early in the morning. It'll wake you up. So I'm gonna give it a little taste test here. Obviously I washed my hands, so I'm good. Yeah, it needs more sesame seed oil. So this is like the guessing game here. Well, not guessing, you're taste testing and figuring out what you need more of. And I'll add like a decent bit of toasted sesame oil, give it a mix, and see what it needs from there. So, see, I'm over here mixing. Give it another taste test. Needs more cayenne and hot honey. I like mine spicy, so you don't have to go crazy. You can literally use regular honey instead of hot honey, but I'm a spice girl, so I like my heat. And I'm almost out of hot honey too, so I'm gonna need more of that. Okay, mixed up. So it's a lot of adding, tasting, adding, mixing, tasting, seeing what works best. And it's cool because it's not like just a based off recipe that you're reading off of a sheet of paper. You're making it for how it works for you based on flavor choice. We're almost there. Needs just a little bit more soy and then I think we're good to go. So I'm gonna add a decent bit of soy. Mix it up. And let's see. Taste it. Perfect. We did it. We're right there. You see a big smile on my face? We did it. So next step, I just take my tuna, and if you have it in your fridge in a couple of days, like you want to wrap it in a paper towel just so it kind of absorbs all that. And let's just appreciate this cut right here. Like that's gonna be delicious later. Very much so excited for that. I'm gonna get a couple steak pieces out of that. You're gonna transfer it into a fresh Ziploc bag. This is how I do it. If you have your other methods of marinating, you know, whatever floats your boat, Cap. So we're going to transfer it to another Ziploc bag here. So it's in there. And then what I do from there is I will pour the contents of my mixing bowl into the Ziploc bag, fold it up, basically getting all the air out of it, really like folding it up so it sits nicely in with that marinade, and it'll marinate all around, and I'll keep it in the fridge for a couple hours. Like I said, I'll have it for dinner, but it's just a delicious dinner to have. You can, like what I do is I take sesame seeds, and after I take it out of the marinade, I cut it into steak pieces, and then I put sesame seeds on the edges, cook it for not even a minute on both sides, like really quick because I like it raw in the middle. And then I'll plate it over some basmati rice. That's my favorite. And then if I have extra marinade, I'll drizzle it on top. So usually before I pour all of it into the Ziploc, I'll reserve some in a little cup for later. So definitely give it a shot if you have some tuna laying around and you want to use it. Cook it up and enjoy it. And I'll see you guys on next week's Open Boat.
For more than 20 years, anglers everywhere have come to know one thing, that nothing says no to fish bites.
Next up is a Dreamboat and Coastal Kayak Clash update.
What a week for comebacks. First the election and now the Dreamboat Fishing Challenge with only 3 weeks left. Kyle Kraus of Cutchogue, Long Island weighed in a sea bass of 4.75 pounds and a blackfish of 8.95 pounds, putting him first in both species and top of the leaderboard. He was in third place last week, but now in first with 36 points. Scott Waterman drops to second with 24 points, and Ahmed Solomon is in third with 19 points. Other notable weigh-ins were New Jersey subscriber Jim Payer from Icona Harbor with a 2.4-pound scup, and Christopher Jones from Ridge, Long Island with a tog of 7.08 pounds. 3 weeks left, still plenty of time to enter your fish to win a Steiger craft powered by Yamaha and many other great prizes, but you must be a Fisherman subscriber to enter. For all the details on how to enter and the rules, visit thefisherman.com. There were no new entries in the Coastal Kayak Clash this week, so the standings remain the same. Todd Treones has 4 points, Bob Wagner has 9 points, and Justin Oser has 10 points. To be part of the Coastal Kayak Clash and for your chance to win the Old Town Sportsman PDL 120 fully outfitted by yakattack.com and other great prizes, you must be a Fisherman subscriber. For all the details on how to enter and rules, visit thefisherman.com.
Okay, let's check up with some upcoming events, see what's going on around the island. Now through November 10th is the Great Gun Mauritius Anglers Casey Mellinger Striped Bass Tournament. Then on November 23rd is a Steiger Craft Boats Open House. Then on November 30th is the Lindenhurst Fall Fishing Flea Market. For details and the latest events, visit thefisherman.com/events. All right, let's head over to the map. I'll let you all know what I've been hearing, getting some reports in this past week. There's still a lot of great fishing going on. Starting off, we have Tom Aiello, caught on the Oh Baby, a 36-inch striper. He caught and released this one right outside Fire Island Inlet. Then Joseph Loretti, he caught this South Shore striper right at sunset. Pretty cool shot, Joseph. Jimmy Lago, she's from Seaford. She had this nice 19.5-inch South Shore inside the bay tog in the beginning of November. That's a nice fish for inside the bay. Then on the Simple Life out of Montauk, Alan Yee, he let me know they went blackfishing with both white and green crabs on a slider rig, and he had his limit. Nice job, Alan. Eddie from the Lazy Bones, he checked in and said, we only sailed a handful of times this past week due to the wind and sea conditions, but when we did get out, most folks who knew how to work diamond jigs caught keepers and had at least a few shorts. The fish are still out there in numbers, a little smaller than last week's. Throwbacks have been almost all under 28 inches with very few 31-inch fish coming over the rails. Moving on, Jamie Bersima, she hooked into this 20-inch blackfish on Halloween during a windy day out of Shinnecock Inlet. Nice job. Mike Connor, he shows off a 42-inch striper caught on a jetty. That's a Central South Shore jetty during this week. Marquise caught this 34-inch striper, which was released right after the photo. He was fishing with Bill Mastano on the Wild Bill out of Island Park. Fish was caught in 30 feet of water outside of Deb's Inlet, and this is also his first striped bass. If you do have a notable catch, email me at mbroderick@thefisherman.com. I'll try and get into the weekly video fishing forecast or the magazine. Meteorologist Rich Von Ohlen, his weather and fishing report is brought to you by Premium Bucktails. Rich.
Hey, thanks, Matt. We'll check that weekend forecast. You can always check your favorite apps, weather tools, weather sites, whatever you got. This is a general heads up, general overview on the upcoming weather for this weekend across Long Island. So another week and another good bass run here. I had my friend Ben, retired Navy veteran, out there on the bass, and we scored pretty well with the fish very active between Jones Inlet and East Rockaway Inlet. Yet again, about 20-25 feet of water, very shallow this time. And these fish were mostly on the liveys. I really couldn't get much going on the diamond jigs or the jigs. But good news here, we had some slots. Some of these fish now getting about 30, 31 inches. So that was good for the dinner table. Kept a couple of these, released the others. And in between the blitzes, we had the show, the greatest show here with the whales still doing their thing. Humpbacks up and down the beach, lunge feeding on the bunkers, swimming around. and putting on the show. So, of course, give them some space. And I did hear about the one that was back in the bay, in the State Channel, east of the Meadowbrook. Hopefully that whale finds its way back into the ocean safely with its friends out here. But, it seems like anytime you go out in the ocean lately, with this massive fall run, you'll see some pretty cool sights there. So pretty cool. All right, so water temps with the warm weather this week didn't come down too much. In fact, we got some low 60s still for the first week of November. A little windy on Friday, midday and afternoon. Early morning Friday might be okay. And then Saturday, early morning, still cranking good from the northwest. It gets better as the day goes on in terms of the wind, but it should be sunny all day. A little cloudy on Sunday, southwest breeze, but overall should be decent. 2 to 4s, 4 to 8 Saturday, moving offshore pretty quickly. So maybe the morning, kind of like do a late start Saturday. I think if you grab a cup of coffee, take your time Saturday, maybe the best bet as things settle down. Sunday should be the better pick of the weekend in terms of wind with a little light southwest. Looks pretty good. 50s on Saturday, cool where we should be at this time of year, about 60 on Sunday. One of my go-to sites, the Wind Guru. I like this looking left to right here. You can see all the colors Friday starting about 9, 10, 11 a.m. from the west, so it's going to chop things up, especially east of Fire Island. And then Saturday morning, it's cranking pretty good, 20 to 25, maybe up to 20 or so by 7, 8, 9 a.m. starts to quickly wind down. So that may be your best bet if you want to have a more comfortable day Saturday. Just give it a little time. And then Sunday looks good. Southwest breeze, everyone should be in good shape. So a little caution Friday, Saturday, some of the winds blowing there. Kind of bookend deal. Friday early is good, Saturday later is good, and then all day Sunday should be pretty decent. Watch out for some evening rain, but I think most of the day should be good. So decent weekend, not too bad overall. Still some great fishing out there. Catch them up, enjoy, be safe as always. Matt, back to you.
Now let's check in with Captain Timothy O'Rourke from Montauk. Tim.
Battle 4. Thank you, Matt. Well, greetings, everybody from Montauk. Beautiful week out here in Montauk for the first week of November. So fishing is still going strong. Everything's transitioning now to blackfish, sea bass, picking away on some cod. All the big head boats and the charter boats, the Ebb Tide, the Viking, and the Miss Montauk have been targeting blackfish, and sea bass have been doing pretty well. The Viking and the Ebb Tide have been doing their cod trips at night in Fort Palm Bay, and that's getting better and better every week. So I have a couple pictures of all that stuff. Charter boats, same thing, getting blackfish up to 8 pounds. I've been limited out every time I've gone out. Weather allows, and I'm hoping to get out there this weekend. So striped bass fishing still going really good. The beach fishing's kind of moved a little bit to the west, but we're still getting a nice pick on the sand beaches here in Montauk. And we're seeing fish off the boat from anywhere from 26 up to 31, 32 inches with bigger waves of fish rolling through. All right, everybody, get your last licks in before the winter, and the sign of codfish is looking good for possible winter cod fishery. All right, Matt, I'll turn it back to you, and have a good weekend.
From Sag Harbor, we have Will and Andy.
Thanks, Matt. Report this week out of Sag Harbor. Fall fishing is still in full swing, guys, and hopefully we continue to get some nice weather, although it has been windy and makes for a little bit of fun on some sporty condition days. But striped bass fishing has been phenomenal, guys, out east, everywhere from Montauk through Shinnecock, all along the beach, west, east. Really, if you go out there, you're going to find them, and that's super exciting. And on bottom fishing for some blackfish. Blackfish is still going pretty strong. We've been out there ourselves, both spear and obviously normal fishing. So that's been great and a ton of fun, guys, and obviously some great eating.
Thanks, Will and Matt. So report this week also out of Sag Harbor. Guys, on top of what Will was saying about the stripers, which is great this time of year, not a lot of bluefish to have to fish through, which is awesome. In the days that we've gone out striper fishing, we've mainly only had one bait bitten off or line broken. So it's been pretty unbelievable. And also the cod fishery has been pretty strong as that water is getting colder, guys, also both on jigs and on bait like clams, etc. A lot of shorts being caught, but there are some keepers on the lower range of the keeper end, to be fair, but still great keepers and one of our favorite eating fish. So keep at it, guys, and we'll catch you next week. Back to you, Matt.
From Shinnecock, let's check in with Mike Dean.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, everyone. Still some good striper fishing off the beach in between Shinnecock and Moriches. On the flat days, there aren't too many fish around. This past weekend, Saturday was kind of like a non-event, even though it was a gorgeous day and pretty flat water. Sunday was flat, but there's just enough of a swell to move those sand eels around and get the bass on them. I had a couple hours of every few casts I was catching a fish. For the most part, the smaller than they had been, they'll be like, between like 26 inches to 29, maybe 30. Did get one that was a little bit bigger, and that's the same thing other people, be random fish that's a little bit bigger, but not that consistent good size like we had seen in early October. Yesterday with stiff southwest winds, surf got kind of churned up, and still those small fish, but plenty of them, and real nice fight with that sweep going on, and the receding waves kind of like making the fight a little bit better. So those fish seem to be bigger than they are. So it's been an amazing fall run, and seems like there might be another body of some bigger stripers coming through. I know there's some people that went tried to head to Montauk out of Shinnecock Inlet over the weekend, and they stopped when they were marking fish and seeing birds and gotten some really nice bass, and no reason to have gone all the way to Montauk. And I think they made it as far as Bridgehampton. So hopefully we'll see some of those fish come in. It's been frustrating for the boat guys, lately, that on the flat days, just the fish don't really seem to be there. And there's also been a lot of days that you just can't really get out. I know for tuna, a little bit further out, like 10 mile kind of, radius, has been some yellowfin. I saw some bluefin, not giants, but big size, pretty good sized fish that were busting out a ways off the beach, but I know some people were chasing those around. I saw some big sport fisher boats kind of cruising around way out, probably like 3-4 miles off the beach, I would think it is. So just a lot of life going on. And while sand eels are predominantly what's around, on the beach and just a little further out, there is also some mackerel and squid around. So there is some night bass fishing going on. It's been a grind to get fish, but when they do get them, they're pretty good size, and darters, bottle plugs have accounted for those. Blackfish in the inlets, a lot of shorts, but a few keepers. Kind of the same thing for the boats. Not a ton of reefs outside of Shinnecock, but so they can get fished out. It seems like the bigger size tog and the real good tog fishing is going on out of Montauk and off of Block Island. So it's been a great fall run. It's by no means over, but time's ticking. So get out there and fish this weekend and get a few before it's too late. All right, let us know how you do, and I'll talk to you next week.
From the Fire Island area in Great South Bay, let's get the latest from Captain Lorenzetti.
Hey Matt, Fire Island report, striped bass all over the place, both offshore and inside the inlet as well. Taking plugs, live bait, you name it. Striped bass fishing is excellent right now. It should be great right through the end of the month. Blackfishing also doing very well. Guys who are catching, there's a few nice fish in between. A lot of shorts, but then a few nice keeper fish as well. So right now it's striper time right through the end of the month. So that's the report. Talk to you next week.
Let's check on in with Chris Ludwig.
Hey, thanks Matt. What's going on, guys? So this last week, the striped bass fishing has been ridiculous, specifically speaking on the bunker bite. The bunker have been shallow, accessible, and the bass are all over. I myself have had fish in the 30-40 pound range on live bunker, first light jigs, no live bait needed paddle tails, the staples. Interestingly enough, in between all those bass, there have been a lot of big bluefin around, popping randomly on the bunker pods. I myself did not hook up on any, but I believe I saw a guy that had one on. So the fishing is red hot. I'd suggest getting out there, again, just with paddle tails, buck tails. If you could throw the net, get some bunker, or snag them, I mean, it's the time. Thanks for your time, guys. See you out there, and back to you, Matt.
With the Fly and Freshwater Report, we have Paul McCain from River Bay Outfitters.
Hello, Matt. I'm out here right now. I'm ran a trip to Orient Beach State Park, and we're using our kayaks on the back. The tides just started to change, so hopefully we're going to see some action. But if not, it's a beautiful day to be out kayaking. One of the best things I ever did was purchase an inexpensive, not expensive kayak, inexpensive kayak to get me to all these locations. And where I am right now, I would have had to walk about a mile to get here. But with a kayak, I paddle and it's beautiful. As far as the saltwater scenes going, well, here's what I'm hearing. false dawn, western part of the South Shore, Jones Beach area. Fish are being caught early in the morning before the sun actually hits. So basically, you got to be there before 7 o'clock, 7:30. That's when it's over. The action's over. But I'm hearing a lot of bass being caught in the inlets. I'm also hearing shatter now being caught in the inlets, which they're a lot of fun on a fly rod. So I would get out there while you can. I mean, hell, it's beginning of November, and we're going to get up to about 70 degrees this week, 75 degrees. It's crazy weather. Now, as far as the freshwater goes, well, I guided Bob and Bob out in we were out on the Connecticut. They never touch the fly rod. They don't fish that often, so they really want to try it. And with the casting, we got them down. They did pretty good. There are a lot of fish in the river, I will tell you that. There was an escapees, a bunch of little 7 to 8 inch rainbows and brook trout got loose, and they're now in the river. So there are a lot of fish, but a lot of big fish too. And we caught them, and we were using all kinds, streamers, dry flies. Didn't have much action on dry flies, but did have a lot of action on wet flies. Wing wets are what I love to fish them. So they did pretty good. If you want to learn how to fly fish, contact me at River Bay Outfitters, 516-415-7748. We do classes. I take you out. We catch fish. I should give you casting lessons. It's a great way. It's a great sport. Great way, and you can fish 12 months out of the year. So until next week. Hopefully I'm going to have photographs of today. If not, to next week. Tie lines, everybody.
From Huntington, let's check in with Captain Gaige.
Thanks, Matt. What's up, everybody? Captain Gaige here reporting to you from Huntington Harbor, where I fish 7 days a week for SandCityCharter.com. Check out the website, guys, and thanks for downloading Bay Rats and Buoys, the podcast. Appreciate all the positive feedback. Episode number 6 will follow this fishing report in all the Facebook groups, and I'm going to tell you about my spearfishing and freediving experience right here on Long Island last Friday, so make sure you tune in and check that out, because that was nothing short of epic. This week, the water temperature is holding at a steady 60 degrees, and the fish are here in numbers, guys. When I tell you the bays are stacked and packed with bass, the bait is here. You're going to have to move around in some instances because the seals have shown up. So if you do see any of that life in the water there, you may want to move around because those seals will definitely shut the fishing off in your area. And that happened to me last week. So we moved and we got on them. You're going to find the fish. They're moving too. They're here. So look for the birds, look for the bait, and you will find them. We're throwing a 6-inch swim shad. We have a lot of top water lures. We're throwing everything on top water and very light tackle, as you can see here in the video. But I'm throwing a 6-inch swim shad here to catch this slot bass, and they are absolutely beautiful. These slots are gorgeous. They're very clean fish, as you can see here in the video, so it's really nice to see. We've been tagging them, so if you catch a tagged fish, maybe you get one of my tagged fish in the area. The black fishing was great on Sunday. We had Tommy, Dan, and Tommy's 13-year-old son out, and they had an epic trip. We had drag getting peeled off, so that was a lot of fun. You know, when you pull them out of the caves and they're big enough to peel the drag off your reel, you're on some good fish. Congratulations to Ryan for catching not only his first ever blackfish, but he did manage to land keepers as well, so kudos to him. Great job. Guys, the fishing right now couldn't be any better. It doesn't matter if you're on the North Shore or the South Shore. Get those lines in the water. Catch some bass. If you want to catch fish, let us know. SandCityCharter.com. Check it out and stay tuned in for Bay Rats and Buoys, episode number 6. Wishing everybody bent rods, tight lines, and I'll see you out on the water. Back to you, Matt.
Let's check on in with Chris Landry.
Thanks, Matt. Well, fall run is in full effect. It is crazy out there. It's like Alfred Hitchcock, the birds. Go out and see hundreds, if not 1,000 birds and bass just boiling up all over the place. Even though there's a ton of bass out there, they can still be finicky. We threw everything at them, and it was the old school diamond jig that did the trick. They're mostly on sand eels, and the diamond jig has the flash, and the tube is reminiscent of an eel. So definitely bring out some old school diamond jigs to target these bass. While the fall run is still hot, there's a lot of slots in the mix right now. Like I said before, they tend to get smaller every week, and right now they're slot size stripers and overs. so they'll continue to get smaller, but you've got a good chance of getting some keepers right now. In the canyons, it's still going off with yellowfin, but the weather has not been cooperating. There are some windows for local bluefin. That's been going off. You can hit us up at Rocksteady to go on some bluefin and bass trips. We'll be doing those every weather window. So get out there now because it is crazy. So hit us up, come out for some bass, get in on prime time. All right, thank you, and back to you, Matt.
From the Western Sound, we have Nuno, Decosta from Tyalurs Tackle in Rye.
Hey guys, Nuno here from Tyalurs. Thanks for having us. Another great week here in the Long Island Sound. You know, the season was full of a lot of ups and downs, a lot of emotional roller coasters, you know, when the bluefish really didn't show up this summer and things were quieter in the beginning of the season for porgies and things like that. But right now, striped bass fishing with schoolies and some slots in the Sound. And if you go further down into New York City, you're going to get some jumbos down there, as Bluefin Sound Charters has done. As far as the blackfish, one of the better blackfish seasons I've ever experienced in my lifetime, and I contribute that to the lack of bluefish. Maybe that's me, you know, they're not out there chopping them up, and we have above average blackfish fishing. Offshore, yellowfin tuna, some albacore in the canyons, a few big eyes still. The Hudson has been hot, hot, hot. What an incredible finish to this season offshore, as the Hudson has been scoring incredible numbers in short periods of time. The party boats are limiting out. The private boats that are making it out are doing excellent. What a great time if you can find a weather window to get out there. Seems like jigs have taken center stage. We all love to jig. And bait fishing obviously is very easy to do this time of year if you want to chunk them. You know, back to the Long Island Sound, the striped bass, schoolies, soft plastics, your paddle tails, and diamond jigs, smaller diamond jigs here in the Sound. The ocean beaches on the South Shore have also blown up with striped bass and some bluefish, your bigger diamond jigs, and your surf guys, you know, with the top water lures that you guys throw, all effective. But the paddle tails here in the Sound and your small diamond jigs have been key. Blackfishing, obviously your crabs and your tog jigs, and if you can get your hand on the Asian crabs, you know, by flipping rocks around here, you will do well, guys. Tight lines, we still have plenty of season left. We are open every day from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Come check us out, guys.
Rob Greco of the Long Island Outdoorsman in Rockville Center checks in.
Hello, Fisherman readers. This is Robert Greco from Long Island Outdoorsman giving you this week's fishing report. Another solid week of striped bass fishing outside of Deb's Inlet and Jones Inlet. We're hearing reports anywhere from pretty much right at Deb's Inlet to the Roundhouse, the Pink Hotel, all the way out to the Needle. About 35 feet of water, find the bunker, find the fleet, and you can get on some fish. We've had reports of up to 44 inches this week. Mark Cozine and his wife Dawn, they were out, and they had a few, as you can see in the photos. Obviously overs that had to be let go, but a lot of fun for a nice fight and take a picture. It's been a little tough to get slots out there, especially with the heavy trolling gear and stuff like that. If you're looking to take some fish home, maybe drop down some smaller lures like a diamond jig or something like that. But the fish are on bunker, so we've been using the bigger stuff and just having fun catching and releasing. Yeah, so Blackfish is still open. Blackfish is still doing well. And that's it. You know, this morning we were actually out, and it was beautiful out there. It was like National Geographic, I got to be honest. There was birds diving everywhere, gannets, seagulls, bunker flipping everywhere. Whales coming out of the water. It was pretty spectacular. The bite was a little off today, but we did manage one up to about 35 inches. So, yeah, back to you guys. Have a good day.
Raul Ortiz has a report from around the city.
Hey guys, Raul Ortiz here, the Urban Angler, with my report. Fishing continues to be good all around the city, Long Island Sound, and South Shore beaches of Long Island. Here in the city, you got a lot of schoolies and fish all the way up to about 30 plus pounds. In the western part of the Long Island Sound, there's a lot of schoolies and fish up to about 40 inches. The further east you go, the better the fishing and the bigger the fish. On the South Shore, woo, it's on fire. Anywhere from Manhattan to Montauk, guys. You can catch anything from schoolie size to about 20 plus pounds. The Great South Bay, still holding a lot of bait, and there's still a lot of action with fish from schoolie size all the way up to about 40 inches. lures that have been working. SP minnows, tsunami shads, tsunami sand eels, super strike needlefish, and bottle plugs. Mag darters have been working, bucktails, a variety of plastics. All have been the ticket to success. Diamond jigs, guys, they're working daytime and nighttime. There's a lot of action, a lot of slot size fish around. I did fish the new moon. A few days after it, I went out a few times, but all I could run into was like some nice size, slot size fish, maybe some overs, but nothing crazy. Maybe fish up to about 15 pounds. Maybe with the next cold front, we get a nice wave of some bigger fish. As I do here, there's a nice wave of fish making their way down the East Coast. So maybe that'll happen with the next cold front, or maybe on the next full moon. Anyway, guys, just going to give a shout out to my boys, Raul, Gian, and Joe. Thank you for the pictures. And guys, get out there. It's time. It's time to be out on the water. You only got like another month or so of this before things start trickling down. And, you know, like I say, as it gets colder, it's going to get better. So get out there, tight lines. And back to you, Matt.
The Fisherman magazine has their apparel store. We have hats, sweatshirts, hoodies, t-shirts, all online now, and free shipping with orders over $100. It is the perfect gift for yourself. Visit thefisherman.com/shop or click on the card in the upper right. Don't forget this video is available as a podcast on Google Music. Search for the Fisherman Magazine podcast and subscribe so you can listen to this broadcast and our other content. Well, we're in the month of November. The weather is beautiful still. We have 70, 60-degree days going on. Great for striped bass fishing on the beach or boat. Great for getting out there blackfishing on both the north and the south shores. And there's plenty of fish around too. The run is still going strong. Get out there and get them. We'll see you next week.